In this video, we're just going to be giving you a very simple look at how to create assignments in Brightspace. There's a lot of features we're not going to be talking about here. We're just going to be looking at getting a simple assignment up so you can have a place for students to submit work that you can then evaluate. We'll look at things like linking expectations in gradebook and rubrics that you can associate with that assignment in other videos. So if we just click on assignments in the nav bar, and then we're just going to go to new assignment right here. So for what you're going to see here is this screen. And for the title for ours, we can just put our first assignment. So score out of, not going to worry about that right now because we're going to come back to assessing and evaluating assignments in another video. For now, we're just creating one. So you can put instructions like, please submit your file. Something like that. Now, due date. So there's a couple different places for dates here. Now, what a due date was, I'm going to say it's going to be due tomorrow. I'm doing this on October 13th. I'm going to say it's due tomorrow at midnight. What a due date does is it doesn't restrict people from handing things in late. Right? That is, the assignment is still going to be available well after the due date, unless you specify otherwise, which we'll talk about in a minute. But let's say we didn't, they could still hand it in late. But because you have that due date, when you see the submissions, it will appear in red that it's so many hours or days late. So right away, beside the person's name and their submission, you'll say 12 hours late, 2 days late, 1 month late. So you know, without having to compare, without even having to look at when they submitted it, you'll know that it's late. So putting a due date is always a great idea, just so you get an idea if students did hand that in late. Now, there's a whole lot of other options over here. Oh, and if you wanted to attach a file, you can link any other course components, activities, or files you can upload. If there's an assignment file you want them to have, you can do that there. You can also record audio and video that they watch or listen to when they get into their assignment. Now, availability, dates, and conditions. This is where you can make it visible to students. So if I were to say start it here and then end visibility a week from now, they will only be able to see that assignment when they click on assignments during that time frame. After October the 20th, 2020 at 11:59 p.m., it will no longer be available to them at all. They will not be able to submit files to it because it will be closed. That's opposed to the due date, which they still will be able to as long as it's still available. So here, if they hand it in after the 14th, it's going to be late, but after the 20th, they won't be able to hand it in anymore. Release conditions and special access, that's a topic for another video. Submission and completion, it's an individual assignment. You can change whether you only allow one or unlimited files per submission. All submissions are kept, or only the most recent one is kept, so you can change it. If they're submitting multiple files, you only keep the last one. You can go through all that and kind of set it exactly the way you like. And so evaluation feedback, this is where we would link a rubric when we have that. And so make annotation tools available is something you're probably going to want. We'll talk about annotation later, but it allows you to mark up the assignment and write on it and provide feedback that way. So once you set all your options, the biggest ones here being though just those availability dates and the due dates, we're going to click on the save and close, which is down there. And there is your assignment. Notice it has our first assignment. It's got our due date there. So the one thing you'll have to be careful of is it is not visible to students right away. That's the way it starts. You can click on that arrow, go make visible to users, and now they will be able to see it. All right, so that's how you create a basic assignment in Brightspace.